Greetings, fellow humans. Welcome to the April 30th Brandon Lunch Bunch. We're a group of folks around Brandon, Florida, Central Florida, getting together during these COVID times, share tips on how to do business in these COVID times. The meeting services are provided by A Better Choice Network Solutions. Check them out when you need meeting services, including webinars like this. Today we're going to do fundamentally a 2-minute tip show. Danielle's got an update on some of the legislation and issues with unemployment. And then we'll pass it around to 2-minute tips around the panel. My name's Dave Loeb with Paysetter Media. I want to do a quick introduction of everybody. David, if you could please. Getting the sound.
Hi, all. I'm David Thornton with A Better Choice Network Solutions, your full-service IT company in the Brandon, Tampa Bay area. And we focus primarily on cybersecurity and delivering enterprise-level solutions at small business prices.
Yovi.
Well, I'll jump in, Dave, if that's okay. My name's
Darren. Yeah, go ahead.
From Service with Style, and I've been in Brandon 22, 23 years now, and we work a lot with restaurants and customers and training, but today I'm excited to take a look at the guests and your customers. Businesses are starting to reopen. You're going to have these people coming into your place of business. How are they going to be thinking? So we're going to share the guest or customer's perspective today.
Larry?
Yeah, that's me. I'm Larry Becker, and I help people be better on video. I do Central Florida video production for businesses, but I also just came out with a book called Great on Camera, and that's also where you can find me, greatoncamera.com.
Thank you. Mac?
Hey, I'm Harold McIntosh.
I would first say, welcome, Mac. Finally, we have you on video, so thank you for joining us and getting all that worked out.
I am just happy to be here. So I am Harold McIntosh with the Principal Financial Group, but everybody calls me Mac. Please do that. So what I do is I help individuals and businesses protect their business, their assets, and their income. So in the early days, you're accumulating assets, but at some point in time, you turn that on into retirement income. It's a big transition to make. I help people prepare for that day and then navigate that. So Mac with the Principal Financial Group.
Thank you. Yeah, so Mac is bringing the finance expertise to our group here. And finally, Danielle, in fact, will let you do your introduction and pass it off to you for your segment.
Do we want to try Yovi one more time?
Oh, shoot, that's right. Yovi.
No worries.
Keeping tabs of that.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Jovi Fermin. I'm a realtor with Charles Rothenberg Realty. And buying a home is a big decision. And you want to make sure you purchase the right home in the right neighborhood at the right price. So how do you make that decision? With the best information, of course. And with that, you need an expert who can help you identify those homes on the market that are a best fit for your needs and budget. And that's where I can help. Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, Danielle, please.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. So I wanted to just bring a quick update on the unemployment situation. If you are currently trying to apply for unemployment and you are an employed individual, which this is targeted to small business owners. So I would imagine that the majority of our viewers are going to be small business owners. So if you are self-employed and you applied for unemployment benefits prior to April 5th, so April 4th or before, and you have been deemed ineligible, the DEO is suggesting now, not suggesting, but telling us now that we need to go back and reapply, get deemed ineligible again, and at that point, your account will pop up a link for you on that left-hand side of the menu where you can apply for the PUA benefits. The PUA is the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, which is the governmental, the federal government unemployment benefit that was issued via the CARES Act. So that benefit includes a portion of what would be a state benefit, but also the $600 a week that was allotted for each unemployed individual in general, regardless of what your prior employment status was, as a W-2 to 99. However you made your money working, you're eligible for that $600 credit as well. $600 per week, by the way. So just quick review. If you applied prior to the 5th of April, so 4/4 or before, that's catchy, isn't it? 4/4 or before, I'm going to use that. That was good. Then you need to go back into the Connect website. Good luck logging in. It's very rickety. It's only open from 8 to 8, by the way. So if you try to do all of this at 7:45, you're going to have a problem. I would encourage you to do it first thing in the morning. Just a side note. So 4/4 before, go back into Connect, reapply, submit a new application, and then within a few days, it's supposed to be, you'll be deemed ineligible again, because you're not eligible for a state benefit. But you should be able to then have a link on that left-hand side where it'll say apply for PUA benefits. So those people are reporting that once they reapply for the PUA benefit, they are seeing money in their checking account within hours. So, and about 50-50 are reporting they are receiving the back pay from their initial application, because once you can apply for those PUA benefits, you are able to sort of reset your start week, so to speak. So I hope that makes sense. I'm actually in the process of working on a blog right now, or a quick fact sheet, something to that effect, and I'm going to be posting that on my website. So head over later today to drydentaxres.com and you should be able to find that blog. I'm going to post all kinds of stuff later this afternoon. That's all I'm doing today, is posting things to my website, fact sheets and info pages and all that fun stuff. So unemployment questions, PPP questions, EIDL questions, all of the CARES Act questions. There's hopefully going to be a fact sheet there by the time I head to bed this evening. So you'll have something to read tomorrow for sure. That's me. That's all I got.
Thank you. What is your website address?
www.drydentaxres.com.
Thank you. And you're going to have some posts there later.
Yes, I will, for sure.
Excellent. Thank you. I've got a quick tip, and this is something that comes from a conversation I had with Darren on Monday, where he mentioned OBS software, and he said he'd just heard about it last week. And I thought for sure we had spoken about that here, that I had mentioned it a few times. So I was surprised that he had just learned about it the week before. Now, we might have mentioned it 3 or 4 weeks ago, and of course, with everything going on, you can easily forget a quick mention. So I want to make sure I talk about OBS Studio now. And I'm going to do a screen share so I can show you this. This is free software anybody can use or anybody can download. Go to OBS project, I think, or look up OBS Studio. Google will put it first. I'm pretty sure what you're seeing here is the OBS Studio. Download the software, load it on your computer, and I just want to do a quick overview of what it can do, not so much to show you how to use it, but just convince you to go get the software and use it. You're going to need 2 things: the OBS software, then you're going to have to find this virtual cam, which is a plugin for it. You'll find it at GitHub. Again, look up virtual cam. So you'll need that. Here's the preview area, and this shows you whatever you're creating. The bottom left are scenes, so I could switch scenes. The scene 720 is one I created recently, and right next to it are the layers, or sources is what they refer to. So you can create sources, one of them being the camera, and that's this one here, and that takes the feed from my camera, and I can turn that off and turn it on. I also have another group here that has the lower thirds right there. And I can turn that on and off. There's also a place for microphone. So I do have a microphone hooked up so you can see it does do the sound, but not for virtual cam. When you're using virtual cam for these meetings like this, it is not doing sound. Again, virtual cam is this plugin. When you're using virtual cam, it is only the camera. It is not sound. Later, if we've got time, I'm going to show you another tip about how to do a quick video, record a quick video using OBS, in which case OBS will be handling the sound. That's the quick of OBS. If you haven't heard of it before, now you have. Go download it, start playing with it. Perhaps in coming weeks, I will do some more tips and tutorials on how to do specific things in OBS software, and you'll find lots on YouTube. But it's the software, it's free, used by thousands, perhaps millions of people at this point. And it can help you look better, do these lower thirds. You can do presentations and slides in your presentation. And that's my quick bit. Larry, you want to go next? And after that, we'll go to Darren. A quick admin note, I demoted Mac, that's what they call it here, to an attendee. We'll get him back up. Mac, we've been turning up video when one other person is presenting. We'll get this worked out. Everybody is doing these kind of things with meetings these days. Thanks. Larry, after you.
Sure. Thanks for doing the OBS stuff because that's a cross-platform. That's something that can be done on Mac or PC, and it's free. And it's a good way to go. Now, on the hardware end, a lot of people are having a tough time locating webcams. They are really hard to find and buy, but a lot of us actually have a decent camera. Maybe it's a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, and there are some great solutions. So I'm using some software that's a little different from OBS. I actually use some paid software from a company called Ecamm. No, I don't make a nickel for telling you that. The company Ecamm, ECAMM.com. Ecamm has some great software for doing Facebook Live and YouTube Live and streaming like this. And their software specifically lets you take a Canon camera and plug it in with USB, not HDMI. So you can take, like I'm using right now, a 70D. It's a several years old, but it's a nice DSLR camera. And I'm actually using that as my webcam. So it actually makes the image look a whole lot better. So 70D, 80D, there's a bunch of Canon cameras that Ecamm software is compatible with. Well, here's some great news. They just did an update 2 days ago, and now they're also compatible with a whole bunch of Nikon and Sony cameras. So if you have a higher end or a medium, Sony or Nikon camera, something that's probably 5 years old or newer, you'll probably be able to just plug in via USB, not even HDMI, so USB, and then be able to use your camera as your webcam. Now, over on the PC side, Ecamm Live doesn't work on PCs, but just yesterday, Canon actually announced some new software called the EOS Webcam Utility Beta. And what that allows is a lot of Canon cameras to work directly with that same USB connection, but on a PC. And then it just turns your Canon camera into a webcam and lets you use that for any kind of live streaming, meetings like this, meetings like Zoom and Skype and things like that. So those are just a couple of tips. Ecamm, ECAMM.com. Look around at some of the software offerings they have on their website for the Mac side of things. And over on the PC side, if you happen to have a Canon camera, check out Canon's brand new EOS Webcam Utility. That's my couple quick minutes of tips.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, and Darren, please. And after that, we'll go to you.
So thanks for having me, and I'm just happy to be part of this group. And there's so many small, little, simple tips that are so relevant today. So everyone, thanks for joining and sharing. Businesses are starting to reopen. Florida has given stage one a little bit of a green light to come back to what might someday be what we consider a new normal. The guests, your customers, the employees, think about what they're dealing with, and now they're going to be coming back into your place of business. They're going to be looking at things very, very differently. Service with Style, we do a lot of secret shopping, and we've always tried to understand what the guest perspective is. So late last week, we put out a survey to about 1,200 people and wanted to start to see what people were thinking about, and are they worried about coming back into restaurants and in businesses. And what we found is people are scared, right? They have a genuine concern of the unknown. If you can turn that fear into confidence, then you can start to build a stronger relationship with that person, whether it's the employee or your customer. And building that confidence, they have to see that you're on top of this. So I'd like to share my screen quickly and just a few thoughts that we've been tossing around on kind of the new normal, per se, of perspective of these guests. So let me kind of whip through this list quickly. And these are a lot of the things that we've been hearing from guests that are about to walk back into restaurants on Monday. Are the staff going to be wearing masks? As a business owner, you've got to think about that. What about gloves for your customers and your staff? We're going to be going to every 10 minutes, we're going to have a bell go off and everybody changes their gloves, washes their hands, puts on new gloves. And every 20 minutes, we're going to have another reminder go off, and every employee in the building is going to grab 2 disinfectant cloths. And for the next 2 minutes, they're just going to wipe and wipe and wipe and wipe and all the handles and doorknobs and community surfaces and dispose of them. So it's going to be a team cleaning. You got to think about no touch payments, right? Money going back and forth. It shows that this virus stays on money for a fairly long time. So think about your payment. I personally own a buffet restaurant. As we sit here today, I can't anticipate reopening as a buffet restaurant. It's a different mindset. So restaurants out there, you've got to think about that. What about temperature scans for your employees? I know it's not a full deterrent, but it could potentially help identify somebody that may be sick. You're going to have a new sick policy. I'm not going to be wanting to work beside Scott, who's coughing in the next office or at the next kitchen station. So you're going to have some new policies. What about cash only, meaning no exchange of cash, exact change? So if my bill is $37, well, I better leave 50, including my tip, and no change back. Disposable menus. Some states are looking at this as a requirement. One thought we've had is your menu up on your TV screens throughout your business. So we look at the TV screen and we don't even need a menu. No hugging, no handshaking. You're going to have to talk to your employees about how to do this. Restaurants, what about instead of removing half your tables, remove a lot of your chairs, make the tables bigger. So if I come in as a group of 4, I can still socially distance between the people that I brought in. So it's a little extra help to the guests. The menu boards is a good suggestion of for your marketing also. The disposable thermometers. We don't want food going back and forth from all these thermometers. Linen napkins. One comment we had on a webinar this morning was about your kitchen towel. Think about how many places that goes in a day and how many different surfaces it wipes. You might want to go to disposables. Separate pickup areas. You're going to have to control how we come into your business. Maybe it's only one person in the bathroom at once, and full wipe down of whether it's your tables or your hairdressing chairs or your gym equipment. You're going to have very good policies in place to make sure everything is being cleaned. So just a few things that the guests are going to be thinking about, your customers. Take a look at their perspective.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have Yobi, and then we'll go to David.
All right, everybody. Well, this morning I wanted to share some information. As many of you already know, part of our duties as realtor is to show properties. Because of COVID-19, a form was recently created by the Florida Realtors in an effort to be responsive to the members' demand for a form addressing the risk when entering properties. The form is called Coronavirus In-Person Access Acknowledgement Form. It was created at the request of many realtors around the state who believe a uniform in-person form will be beneficial to the industry. This form is not mandatory. Basically, it's for safety. Safety is the main consideration. And this form is available for use when it is necessary to access the property in person. This form provides an opportunity for realtors to confirm with owners and prospects that they understand the risk involved with in-person showings, that they will minimize this risk as outlined in the form, and they are willing to assume these risks. The form is designed to be used with properties for sale and properties for lease. And the form can be given to a seller or a landlord to cover future showings during the term of the listing and to continue to bring potential buyers and tenants into the property. And this form can also be given to the buyers and the tenants. And basically, this form is given in the beginning when you first get your listing with the seller and when you first start showing properties with buyers or tenants. Of course, once the person acknowledges and signs the form, we will provide them a copy. If you're interested in a copy of this form, let me know and I'll be more than happy to provide it to you. If no questions, Dave, back to you.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll go to David, and then after that, I will promote Mac back to a presenter, and we'll get the details of his video worked out. David, please.
Thank you. So remote work, many of us were not really prepared for it. Many businesses were caught by surprise, and we've spent the last, wow, my hair. We have spent the last, 5 or 6 weeks getting people prepared and set up for it. But as a result, we've actually found that a lot of the equipment that people would need to do remote work has been very hard to find. Things like, laptops and webcams are about as scarce right now as toilet paper. And the prices as a result have also been driven up. So a laptop that would cost $400 to $500 is now, around $600 to $700. So one of the things we've been able to do is work with some of our clients to try to find those diamonds in the rough and find a few laptops at a bargain, but they have not been easy to find. So if it's not really the time to buy equipment for personal use, but if you do have an emergency, then you can reach out to us and we'll assist. Most major corporations now have shifted towards supporting the healthcare industry, so they usually get first dibs on anything that's available. So that being said, again, it's not impossible. It's just very difficult. So, and you might want to start planning for the next one once this is over. Plan for the next issue, next emergency, because in Florida down here especially, we have hurricanes, things like that. And if an office is out without power or without internet for a significant amount of time, being able to work remotely is still a huge benefit. And even employees, once they get past getting back to work, they're going to want to have that as an option as well. Many employees have self-reported that they are much happier and increased productivity as a result of being able to at least have 25% of working remotely or even higher. It cuts down on traffic time and it's healthier for the environment. So once this is over, then maybe come up with a policy or some sort of procedures to be able to offer those employees that are able to work remotely the ability to do so. I think it'll benefit your business. And that's all I have.
Thank you. And now we're going to try to get Mac back in. I will promote him to presenter again. We'll get this worked out with how we're doing video. And then we'll go back to Joby. So, Mac, how are you?
Hey. Oh, there I am.
Yeah. So what we've
Very
been
good,
doing.
very good.
What
Hey,
we've
so
been doing, when one person is
Dave.
speaking, we go up to the top middle and we click video and we turn off our own video. so that one person has the full screen. And that where you have to work this stuff out, this is exactly what everybody's going through with lots of meetings. We said at the beginning, we're all in this together. We're all trying to work it out. This is exactly what everybody else is doing too. So I'm glad to have some of these, what's going on, the videos acting strange, and even Jovi's vocals. So if you got a 2-minute tip, we'll turn it over to you.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. So first of all, let me apologize to Danielle if she heard my dog barking in the background. She decided during Danielle's presentation that she wanted to go out and play. So this morning, what I'd like to do is I'm going to give you the number one tip in being successful financially. And I put together a PowerPoint presentation about this, and here it is. If you're going to be successful financially, you have to save. And the best way to save is to set up something that is done for you systematically. That's one of the reasons 401ks can work for people, is because it's automatic. But the way I want to tie this into the coronavirus is like this. If someone meets with me to put a financial strategy together and they say, "Hey, Mac, I want to start a college fund. I want to set up an IRA and this or that." Well, the first thing I say to them is, "Well, do you have an emergency fund?" That's where a successful plan starts. So in the financial planning world, we generally tell people that they should have 3 to 9 months of expenses put away in an account that is accessible. So think about this. If you set up an emergency fund the way that I just recommended, and you have 3 months expenses, 6 months expenses, the coronavirus rolls around. How much better are you going to feel about this situation knowing that you've got a safety net set up for yourself? And even in normal times, we're always hit with unexpected occurrences that require us to pull out some money and correct the situation. So that is absolutely the very beginning of a solid financial plan. And that's a way that you can have something in place when the unexpected occurs. So again, this is the key to being successful. It's a 4-letter word, but it's not a bad one. Mac with the Provincial Financial Group. Thank you, Dave.
Hey, and thanks for showing how even low tech stuff can work. I have these signs sort of sitting next here that I've used. Using a little piece of paper, it's a visual medium, putting that up on screens. It's a great way to do it that, in fact, served the purpose without being all high tech about it. Good stuff. Thank you. And now, Mac, our procedure is up at the top middle, you click on the video button and unshare your video. So when Jovi comes in, she'll take up the whole screen. That's it. Perfect. So that's our procedure. The things everybody everywhere is working out and how these work. Jovi, you got another tip, please.
Yes, thank you, Dave. And I want to apologize as well because we do have a landline. My husband uses it for work, and it happened to ring when I was talking. So I apologize for that. The next article I want to share with you guys is an article that came from the National Association of Realtors. It is titled "Home Sellers Staying Firm on Asking Price." And the report states that nearly 75% of realtors reported that their sellers have not lowered their listing price to attract buyers during this time. And this suggests home sellers are avoiding panic selling during the COVID-19 pandemic. Consumers are mostly abiding by the stay in shelter directives, and it appears the current decline in buyer and seller activity is only temporarily. Given that there are even fewer new listings during the pandemic, the home sellers are taking a calm approach and are willing to lower the prices to attract buyers during the temporary disruptions of the economy. Sales are still happening, and we realtors are able to complete nearly most of the aspects of a transaction, and while respecting social distancing. The most common technologies that we use, the tools that we use to connect with our customers are e-signature, social media, messaging apps, and virtual tours. And in addition, we are still conducting in-person showings. And that's it for me. Thanks.
Thank you. I've got one 2-minute tip on how to use OBS and one 15-second reminder to do some exercise. I'm going to screen share again. Again, this is OBS software. Initially, it was used for streaming, live streaming, and you could also use it for recording your screen or recording whatever is going on up here. You can create a video of whatever's in the preview. And that's over here, start recording. In the bottom right, start recording. First, settings. Output, recording. I prefer to switch to MP4, so you might want to switch this. It is set to that already. Make it for MP4 for a short video like I'm about to do. Because the video, for instance, if you need to do the video, and my example is going to be a short 10-second video where you say content without the chaos. So for a short video like that, MP4 is fine. Click start recording. I'm now recording a clean, high resolution, probably well synced video right now of everything that's in the preview screen. Click stop recording. I've finished recording that video. It's saved on my hard drive. So OBS software can be used for short videos like this. And if you had a product to show, you could even like do a product video showing something while recording it. Save that off. You can't edit the video in OBS. You save it somewhere. You can either edit it after the fact, or if you're doing short clips without editing, that works too. You can use OBS for recording. That's my quick extra tip for OBS and what you can do with OBS. My 15-second tip, remember to get some exercise. If you're working at home a lot, it's something that you usually haven't done, you're doing a lot of sitting, make sure you get up and do some exercise. So as soon as we finish with this lunch bunch, get up, do some stretching, do a minute of exercise you otherwise wouldn't have done. So thank you so much for joining us. Our next lunch bunch is, as soon as I find the slide in OBS, our next lunch bunch is Thursday, May 7th at 11 a.m. Thanks to everybody for joining us. And thanks for all of our presenters for all their tips, expertise. See you then.